Welcome back, beer tubers. Today I'm going to take a look at collaboration between Hair of the Dog and Deschutes, and this is Collage #1. This is a blended beer they did that they aged in various barrels. Let me read you out the details. They did a blend of the Dissident and the Stoic from Deschutes and a blend of Fred and Adam from Hair of the Dog. This came out to be 11.6%. They aged it in both, I think, regular whiskey barrels, Virgin American oak barrels, and wine barrels. So this one came out in 2012, and I've had sitting in my fridge the whole time since I bought it. So the best after date is April 30th, so we're a few months past that at this point. Got it poured out. It had a bit of a head. It fizzed away right away. Color-wise, it's got a mostly reddish tinge to it, some darker orange. Most of the beers are probably on the lighter side except for Adam. But it's a very nice looking beer. It's pretty clear, some good carbonation, not much of a head. Let's get the aroma. Wow, it's got a lot of oak on the aroma. I did have this one fresh. I was going to review it fresh, but I thought the oak was too overpowering, and I thought with some age it might mellow out. I still get a lot on the nose, but it's a very pleasant oak character. A lot of vanilla. There's some alcohol notes to it. It's got some nice oakiness to it, though. Nice, pleasant oak tannins. They've mellowed out with some age. The other characteristics got a lot of fruitiness. Both dark fruits, you know, your typical kind of raisin fig thing going on, and then there's some of those like berry notes, cherry, like almost like a raspberry character. Definitely getting both barrel factors, both whiskey. It's got some sweeter caramel notes. You get the wine in there. Definitely that darker grape, that tannin character. You get that on the nose as well. So it's got a lot going on with it, and we'll see how it tastes. Cheers. Yeah, it's definitely mellowed out since I last had it. Even though I was aging it in the refrigerator and not at cellar temperature or even room temperature. Still get quite a bit of alcohol, so maybe that's not mellowed out as much as it could have been. But a lot going on, interesting blend. Overall, it's a very sweet beer. Up front, you get a lot of sweetness. Those sweeter fruit notes that I mentioned are blended with the caramel. So you get this sort of like caramel toffee note that goes with the red fruits, those berry notes, and then it goes with the darker fruits, the raisin, the fig characteristics. So you get big sweetness up front. The back end, it does dry out. The alcohol's helping out, even though it does have some sweetness too. There's like a little bit of like a spicy character in there. And then I think the oak, though, is the ultimate factor in the drying out. Get some oak tannins on the finish, but they're not as prominent as they used to be when the beer was younger. The back end has a lot of vanilla. I get a little bit more wine character. There's like a hint of like a tartness, to like a grape tartness on the back end that kind of dries out the beer as well. So it's got that acidity from the wine barrels. There could be, I don't know if there's any Brett or any kind of bacteria that might have got into this blend to produce a little bit of tartness, but you get like almost like a sour cherry character on the finish. It's got the vanilla on the finish as well, and overall it's pretty balanced beer at this point. As I drink it, it starts to get more of like an old ale character coming through. That Adam's popping up. You get some leather, get a little like slight hint of chocolate in there as well, and you get a little bit of like a mustiness coming from maybe some older barrels that have been mixed in as well. And I was just thinking, I was mentioning like the tartness. Well, of course it's tart because the Dissident's in there, and that's, you know, sort of like an Imperial Flanders Red Ale, and I was kind of forgot about that component of this beer. And then the Stoic also had that pomegranate character, and that could be helping out with on the red fruit side. But it's an interesting blend. It's worth checking out. It's not my favorite beer. It doesn't quite get to those levels of like a Firestone Walker Anniversary beer in terms of blending, but I think it's a pretty cool beer. So I'm going to go B+. I think this one's drinking a lot better than I remember it. It's starting to really kind of mellow out, kind of gel as a beer, less disjointed. So I recommend it. Hopefully you got some bottles, or maybe it's sitting on shelves where you're at. But get Collage #1. It's certainly worth trying if you can still find it your way. So that's gonna wrap this one up. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.